Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Friday the 14th of May 2021. We'll get on to the Sudoku in a second. It's supposedly hard level. Let's see what's happening with the fight against COVID-19 in the US. It's been going great guns in terms of vaccination. Apparently right now they've got 55 point something percent of the population aged 12 and over with their first shot of vaccine, and actually 45% already fully vaccinated, and that's great news. And the CDC have given advice, um, rather could be rather early, we're not sure yet, but that mask wearing is no longer mandatory for those who are fully vaccinated, but not for those who are not. And so, of course, that runs into the slight problem of how do we know who is fully vaccinated? Some of those crazy anti-vaccine people, not talking about the COVID vaccine, but other forms of vaccine, have sometimes tried to fake certificates to prove that they have been inoculated. And then they advertise that fact on social media. Anyway, unfortunately though, the rate seems to be slowing rather. So in Ohio, they've come up with a rather novel idea of offering $1 million in a kind of lottery, a vaccine lottery, that if you go to get the shot, you're eligible for the next 5 weeks, a weekly prize draw of $1 million. And this seems like a great idea. You might be saying, oh my God, $5 million of taxpayer money. But when you consider how many other ways taxpayer money is wasted and how much money might be saved if the population is fully vaccinated, it seems like a rather sensible idea, because we can't rely on our fellow humans to do the right thing nowadays. People are far more selfish than that. Right, okay, on to the Sudoku puzzle. You probably have more of an idea about how hard this puzzle is, because normally I try to say at the on the description how I found the puzzle, what level I found it to be. But right now, since I do this live, I have absolutely no idea. But it could be easy. I don't know. But if it is, here's a quick explanation for learners: rows across, columns down. Each need numbers 1 to 9. Boxes here need numbers 1 to 9. That means each number can appear only once because there are 9 squares in a box, 9 squares in a column, 9 squares in a row. So when you fit in numbers 1 to 9, they can appear only once in a column, a row, or a box. Okay. How does that help us find numbers? Looking at the grid. Okay, right. So first number I see, 2 blocking up this column, 2 blocking up this column, meaning 2 is here already, can't appear again in this column. This 2 means 2 can't appear again in this column. 2 in this row here, same idea, 2 in this row here. So the very first number appears in this empty box at the top. My eye was just drawn immediately to it. I have no idea why, but it looked pretty easy. I see a 6 in this column here, 6 in this column here, leaving us just one square where we can place a 6 here. You getting the idea? This is the kind of easy part of doing Sudoku. The early part where we kind of scan our eyes along the rows and columns looking for numbers that fit in fairly easily. And we can go more than one step if you like this. When you see a 9 along this row here and a 9 down this column here, we know that 9 has to appear here or here. But when we look up or down, we can't place the 9 perfectly. But that's okay. We'll remember for now that it's in either of these 2 squares. And now that we know that, we'll bring it back across here. And when we look at this center box here, we see this 9 blocking these 3 squares. The 9 that will eventually be placed blocking these 2 squares. This 9 blocking this square here. And that will leave us with a 9 here. Okay, this column does not yet have a 5. But this 5 here means that no 5 can appear again in this box. And 2 of the squares of this column are in this box. So 5 is now here, here, or here. And so in this column, 5 has to be here. That will leave us just 1 and 2 in this column. And this 2 means that 2 is no way allowed here. So that's got to go there. And the 1 is the last number. So there we are. We have our first column fulfilled already after just a very short period of time. I have no idea how the rest of the puzzle is going to go. Sometimes misleading, sometimes you think, oh, it's going to be really easy, and then it turns out to be a real tough cookie. Okay, what else looks like it might be feasible? Okay, I see a 5 in this column here, 5 across this row, leaving just one cell. You can call these squares cells if you like, if you want to learn some of the Sudoku terminology. Some of the Sudoku terminology is interesting, some of it's very confusing and weird, and if, like me, you learned to play without before the age of internet videos and books like that, I mean, sometimes you just don't think about the terminology, you just know what to do because you've done it so many times. I do see something interesting. I see a 2 and a 9 in these two squares here. This 9 blocks along here, this 9 blocks along here, which leaves us a 9 here or here. This 2 blocks along here, and this 2 blocks down here, leaving us with a 2 here or here. So I'm going to put those in as candidates to help me remember, because I'm doing this very early this morning because I've got work to do. This morning I've got work appointment, and so I need to get today's puzzle done fairly sharpish. So that, what are the numbers that will leave us with? So 3 is down here and 6 is down here. Okay, so let's put those in as well, 3 and 6 and 3 and 6, because this 3 and this 6 block this square, and that will give us a new number. So the number which is missing here is in fact 4. We can fill in a 4 because that's the only one left. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. The 4 blocking along here, 4 blocking along here will give us a 4 here. We can also find out what these two numbers are, because we know these are 3 and 6. So we know along here have to be 1 and 8. 1 and 8 sounds like pre-decimal currency in the UK. Okay, and now that we know that 8 is here, well, we have an 8 across here and an 8 up here, so that square there has to be an 8. Okay, if you think I'm doing this a bit too fast, I do apologize. As I said, I am in a bit of a hurry today to get this video completed before I have to spend a long day at work. But of course you have enough time to go back and play it again, and play it, you know, several times if it really helps, if you're learning. Okay, the 1 here blocks these two squares, so that's our 1 here. The missing numbers here now are what? 5 and 7. I'll put them in, so I'm putting candidates in here. 5 and 7, just saving time. There's one number missing here, we can find out what it is. 1. We don't yet have a 2, do we? So that's got to be a 2. The others we have 3, 4, 5. You see, it's one of this pair. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Alright, let's see, what else do we need? I should fill in these two numbers as well, since I know what they are. I may not be able to fix them, but I can fill in the candidates at least. So we've got 1, 2, we don't yet have 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 7 are the missing numbers here. So let's fill in a pair of 3 and 7, just to speed things along when we get to that point, towards the end. Now, the question is where to... Oh, look! Good grief, it's made me drop my pen. I'm in surprise and disgust at myself for missing the fact that I filled in 1 and 8. Look, clearly here, there's an 8 pointing here. Seeing that candidate, that's got to be a 1. Oh dear. And this 1 now blocks up here, 1 blocking along here. Okay, oops. But no fatal error, of course. Just like you know, not seeing something that I should have seen. Better double check on this 3 and 7. My eyes are not that good this morning. It's still very early, as I mentioned. Okay, now I do see something else as well. This 1 blocks this square here. 1 can't appear in here already, right? 1 is already blocking here, or if you prefer, that one there blocks this square. So 1 blocking here, 1 blocking here, 1 blocking here, and 1 blocking here. So in this column, the only cell that doesn't see a 1 is here. Look, 1 blocking here, 1 blocking here, 1 and 1. So we can fill in that one there. Also, we don't have a 6 in this column, but 6 blocks here, 6 blocks here, and 6 blocks here. So that's got to be a 6, which will give us a 6 here, clearly, because 6 blocking along this row, 6 along this row, 6 down here. Now, see, this is why we wrote in these candidates, to save time here. That's a 6, and that's a 3, of course, because we had this pair down here. Which will also give us a pair of 3s up the top here, 3 blocking. So let's put those in. So, and that will also give us 3s in these 2 squares, right? Because 3 blocking up here, 3 blocking up here, and the eventual 3 that will come in will block along there. We know that these are 3 and 4. Let's put that in, as I say. Just make life easy for us. If you want to make life more difficult, you can try playing the game without filling in candidates. If you feel that it's too easy, if you see the beginning part of this and it says easy, then maybe you can try it without filling in candidates, trying to keep the candidates in your head, which is a more difficult way of playing it. 9 across here, 9 across here gives us a 9 in this square. More difficult and more challenging, and you can do that for the less challenging puzzles. 9 blocking down here, 9 blocking down here, that's a 9 there. 9 blocking here, 9 blocking here, that's a 9 here. Okay, which will give us a pair of 9 candidates over here, 9 blocking down here, blocked, blocked. And so just 2 squares where we can fill in 9 candidates there. What are the missing numbers here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. Okay, let's put in a pair of 4 and 7. Okay, down here, 3 blocking along here, 3 blocking, 3 blocking here. So that's a pair of 3s there. And okay, the other okay, this has to be a 5 here now. Okay, so look, 5 blocks across here, right? So 5 will eventually appear in one of these 2 squares, and when it does, it will block along this row. So 5 blocking this row, 5 blocking this row, 5 down here, 5 down here, which will give us 1 square here. Okay, here's a useful idea. When you see something like this, 3 empty squares in a row, oh, noise outside, 3 empty squares in a row, plus 1 other empty square. I mean, this is the 3 final remaining squares in this row here, and 1 other square. It means we must be able to find this number, because we know what these 3 numbers have to be, right? We've got a 3 placed already. Let's see what the other missing candidates are. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We don't yet have a 4. Let's put it in. Okay, we'll put a candidate in. So 4 blocking up here. So 4 has to be in one of those 2 squares there. 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks along the middle square. So 7 has got to be either here or here. But that's not really what we were focusing on, and as I mentioned before, you can maybe try this without filling in the candidates if you want to keep the stuff in your head. So now we can see which number is missing from this box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got to be an 8. So the 8 we can fill in now. Now that we've got the 8, we see it blocks along here, this bottom row, and we see an intersecting 8 here. So that's got to be an 8. And we're overwriting a 3, so that's got to be a 3. We had a 3 or 4 here, So that's our 3, and that's our 4 now. We had 3 or 7 here, so that's our 3, and that's our 7. We had 4 or 7 here. Do you see why filling in candidates can save you lots of time? Okay. That was very nice, wasn't it? Also, this 8 blocks down here, 8 down here, 8 blocking across here and across here gives us just one location left. And I believe that is the final digit 8, so we don't have to concern ourselves with digit 8 anymore. The next step is to see what number is missing along in these two squares. Here we know one of them is 3. What's the other? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other number is 7, and guess what? We have an intersecting 7 here, so we can place that number now. So we know that's got to be a 7, and that's got to be a 3. Now we can go back up. It's kind of, you know, up and down motion here. The 3 can't stand anymore because that 3 is there. So we're left with just a 4, and now we can remove that 4, giving us a 7 there, and the last number there is a 3. There's only one number missing in this column now. It's actually a 1. You start counting, you find you can't see a 1, so that's got to be a 1. This one, if we bring it back across, this one blocking down means that has to be a 1 right there. Now I see 5 and 7 in this square, and I see 2 squares missing from this column. So I know that this also has to be 5 and 7. 5 or 7 here in one square. There's one other empty square. It has to be 5 or 7. And look, very close by, we see an intersecting 7. So we know that that can't be 7. That has to be 7. That has to be 5. And of course, we can fill in the 5 there. Now there's one number missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't yet have a 7, so 7 goes in here. That's the last number missing from that column. Oh, no, we've almost finished. You can just see there's one number missing here. 1, 2, 3. It's a 4. We don't yet have a 4. And either you can count through the row here, or you can count around the box here. But either way, you'll see that it's a 5 that's missing. Right across now. Okay, so what's missing down here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 and 7 are the missing numbers, and we see 7 intersecting here. So that's a 7, that's a 6. We bring that 6 across and see 6 blocking down here. That's a 6 here. One number missing here. It's 2, I believe. We have 1. We don't yet have a 2. So the 2 goes here. Now the next step is we had our 2, 9 pair here. So that's a 2, that's a 9. We know that that 9 can't stand. That's our 9. We'll just count through and find the last number. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I wouldn't describe that as a hard level puzzle. I'm not even sure that it's a medium level puzzle. I don't know. I filled in lots of paired candidates to make life easier, but I suspect you could have done it even without doing that. It just would have taken rather longer, and as I mentioned, I'm in a bit of a hurry today. So I don't know, maximum medium anyway, not higher than a medium. Possibly an easy level puzzle, but tomorrow is supposedly expert day, so please come back tomorrow. Please subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to other people's Sudoku channels too. Thank you very much. Bye bye.